agreement has been forced between the ruling Nepal Communist Party and the Chinese Communist Party CPC for sisterhood. Meanwhile, the ruling Nepal Communist Party leaders say the agreement has paved way for bilateral diplomatic visits, exchange of ideas and collaboration between the two countries. Good morning, I'm Amit Mackerel and these are the top stories this hour. Chinese Communist Party makes efforts to increase relations with ruling Nepal Communist Party. Both parties sign an agreement for sisterhood. Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies prepares to review the Commerce Treaty with India and impose customs charge on fruits and vegetables entering the country. US Democrats open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Donald Trump over allegations he sought help from a foreign power to damage a political rival. And defending champions Barcelona secure a difficult 2-1 victory against Villarreal at Spanish La Liga. Let's begin with the national political updates. The ruling Nepal Communist Party has signed an agreement for sisterhood with Chinese Communist Party CPC. The agreement was signed in an event held in the capital yesterday at the presence of Nepal Communist Party Chairman duo KP Sharma Oli and Puspa Kamal Dahal and Chief of Foreign Affairs Department of CPC Song Tao. Nepal Communist Party leaders have opined the agreement has paved way for bilateral diplomatic visits, exchange of ideas and collaboration between the two nations.
भ्रमणहरुलाई अझै यसले गति दिनेछ र कार्यकर्ता तहबाट पनि एकअर्का देशबाट सिक्नका लागि अझ बढी भ्रमणहरु आदान प्रदानको मौका मिल्नेछ र मुख्य गरी राजनीतिक र सैद्धान्तिक विषयहरुमा हाम्रा दुई पार्टी बीचमा रहेका समानताहरु र छलफल गर्नुपर्ने विषयहरुका बारेमा पनि त्यो छलफललाई अझ फराकिलो बनाउनेछ.
The agreement comes ahead of Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to Nepal. According to officials, the Chinese president is scheduled to arrive in Nepal on 14th of October. The ruling Nepal Communist Party had organized a two-day interaction program to discuss on the political ideologies adapted by the Chinese president. Ahead of Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to Nepal, the Nepal Communist Party has strengthened relations with the Chinese Communist Party by organizing an interactive program on the Chinese socialism model. With the date of Chinese President Xi Jinping's Nepal visit is nearing, the ruling Nepal Communist Party held a two-day official training session for its leaders and cadres on Xi's path and its development through Chinese Communist Party's trainers themselves. At the program, Chinese Foreign Affairs Chief Song Tao briefed on the Xi concept. Song Tao viewed that people should always be at the center of the government policy. The training session has not only improved relations between the two parties, but has also increased the possibility of the ruling Nepal Communist Party implementing the Chinese model of development. Nearly 200 leaders and cadres of Nepal Communist Party took part in the training session. Conducting the training session ahead of the Chinese president's visit to Nepal is not just a coincidence. The training was held in order to make President Xi's visit a grand success. Chinese Communist Party CPC's desire to hold good relations with Nepal Communist Party shows that China is willing to extend cordial relations with its neighbors. And time now for a short break. For more news, do stay with us. Welcome back after the break. The Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies is preparing to review the Commerce Treaty with India and impose customs charge on fruits and vegetables entering Nepal from India. Nepal has decided to review its trade agreements with India at a joint secretary-level meeting that will take place in India on Thursday. The meeting has been agreed upon by Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli during his visit to India 3 years ago. The meeting is expected to dwell on Nepal's increasing trade deficit with India. The Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies is also preparing to request the southern neighbor to relieve Nepal's exports from custom charges. Based on the latest agreements, Nepal and India will review its treaties every 7 years. Experts have stated that imports on agricultural produces will come down should the proposed agreement be signed intact. Nepal imports agricultural goods worth around 175 billion rupees annually. It's time now for the international update. Democrats have opened a formal impeachment inquiry into President Donald Trump over allegations he sought help from a foreign power to damage a political rival. Top Democrat Nancy Pelosi said the president must be held accountable. Trump has denied impropriety and called the efforts garbage. While there is strong support from Democrats on impeachment, if the inquiry moves forward, it is unlikely to pass the Republican-controlled Senate. The row was sparked by reports an intelligence whistleblower lodged a formal complaint about a phone call President Trump made with Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky. What exactly was said remains unclear, but Democrats accuse Trump of threatening to withhold military aid to force Ukraine to investigate corruption allegations against former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter. In a series of tweets, Trump said Democrats purposely had to ruin and demean his trip to the UN with more breaking news which hunt garbage. If it moves forward, the House of Representatives will vote on any charges, and with the Democrats and the majority there, it could comfortably pass. But it would next move to the Senate, where a two-thirds majority is required and where the Republicans hold sway. And time now for another short break. For more news, do stay with us. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the residents of Rukum district what should be done in order to keep the district headquarters clean. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
सरसफाईको चेतना फैलाउनु पर्यो, सबैलाई सम्झाउनु पर्यो, भन्नु पर्यो।
नगरवासीहरूले आफ्नो डस्टबिनमा फोहोर राख्दिने र नगरपालिकाले आएर समय-समयमा उठाएर फोहोर फाल्यो भने नगर सफा हुन समय लाग्दैन।
बालुवा गिट्टीहरू बाटोमा राख्नु भएन। समयमा अलि सफा गर्ने मान्छेहरू नआइदिएको जस्तो पनि लागिरहेछ।
प्रत्येक गल्ली-गल्लीमा ढल सहितको बाटो हुन पर्छ, जसले गर्दाखेरि गाडीले फोहोर उठाउन सकोस्।
बाटोघाटो बनाउँदाखेरि, निर्माण गर्दाखेरि छिटो-छिटो बनाइदिनु पर्यो।
फोहोरको थुप्राहरूलाई कहाँ लगेर फाल्ने, के गर्ने, स्थानीय सरकारले व्यवस्थित गर्नु पर्यो।
विभिन्न चाहिँ विसर्जन गर्न मिल्ने फोहोरहरू आफूले पनि जे जति सकिन्छ आफ्नो तर्फबाट पनि गर्दा राम्रो हुन्छ।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what's your take on the Land Revenue Office not taking initiative to search for documents buried under its collapsed building? And options are A, heights of irresponsibility, B, result of impunity, and C, busy employees. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B, or C and set it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now the sports update.
Sports news.
Lionel Messi was substituted at halftime amid fresh injury fears last night as Barcelona got back to winning ways with a 2-1 victory against Villarreal in La Liga at the Camp Nou. Barcelona flew out of the traps with Messi's corner flicked home by Antoine Griezmann to give the hosts the lead in the 6th minute. Arthur Melo doubled it at Paris after just 15 minutes with a fantastic strike from distance. Villarreal were able to find a way back into the game in the 44th minute as Santi Cazorla smashed home a swirling, long-range effort. Messi was replaced by Ousmane Dembele at half-time, having received treatment on a knock for a prolonged period before the break. Likewise, in other matches held last night, Real Betis defeated Levante 3-1 and Valladolid were settled at 1-1 draw with Granada. It's time now for our special segment, Laugh Out Loud.
Nepal is making preparations to send an unimaginably huge 70-member jumbo football team to Canberra to play against hosts Australia in the second round of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers in the second week of October. The players, coaches and officials make up for the 30 members of the jumbo team. Out of the remaining 40 members, 10 are from the 17-member working committee of ANFA. Likewise, 3 are from the district ANFA committees, 1 from the ANFA appeal committee and a few journalists. Rest of the members are not affiliated with ANFA. The size of the national football squad reminds us of almost an Olympic or Asian Games contingent that country sends to compete. In what created quite a few ripples in the political fraternity and social med, President Vidyadevi Bhandari blatantly made a mockery of main opposition Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba. The speech disorder of Deuba is not hidden from anybody, but President Bhandari attacked Deuba over his physical disability, which has not gone down well among the public. It is never deemed correct to taunt any individual's physical disability, but this coming from the president of the country itself against a stalwart of Nepali politics has raised many unanswered questions against the ethics of the position. Many political critics have argued that President Bhandari is not just an individual, but an institution, and that she better watches out what she says. This is Bipashna Tamang for Kantipur News Desk.
And before we wrap up, a reminder of the top stories. Chinese Communist Party makes efforts to increase relations with ruling Nepal Communist Party. Both parties sign an agreement for sisterhood. Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies prepares to review the Commerce Treaty with India and impose customs charges on fruits and vegetables entering the country. US Democrats open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Donald Trump over allegations he sought help from a foreign power to damage a political rival. And defending champions Barcelona secure a difficult 2-1 victory against Villarreal at Spanish La Liga. And that's all for this hour. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Have a good day.